Cats have scored. I'll let you do the camera work here. And the pitch, you might want to update the scoreboard there. It is 6-0, I believe. Actually, it's at least 5-0 as I look at it. It looks like Caden Black did score. Teasley ended up over at third, so it is 5-0. The Wildcats in the lead, and the batter is Parker Free at a double. Takes the ball low, and the count is even at 1-1 strike. 5-0 Oak Ridge. We apologize. We were a little slow getting our broadcast on. We had a little technical snafu, but we've got it taken care of now. We're in the second inning. I'll recap things here in a moment. That ball is hit foul out of play. Wildcats put 4 on the board in the first inning. They did it. Basically, the pitcher for the Karns Beavers struggled out of the gate. He walked the first guy he faced, Caden Black. He stole second, came around to score, as did Mikey Teasley, who was hit by a pitch. Peyton Witter, that pitch is a called strike 3, and that is out number 1 here in this second inning. And going back to that, the Wildcats had the bases loaded with Black. Izzy was running well, actually not. Mikey Teasley was on base. Peyton Witter was on base, and Parker Free knocked in 2 of them. And then Cam Welch had an RBI on a ground out. Kai Welch also stepped in, grounded out. And the Wildcats scored 4 runs in that inning, and now have scored a solo run here in the second to take a lead of 5-0. They still have runners out on the base paths. Mikey Teasley, and we'll swing it around here in a second. Mikey is at third. Over at second base is Peyton Witter. He had an RBI just a moment ago as that pitch is outside. A ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Be prepared to move that camera there, TJ. I haven't been able to do that. We are live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, now. Pitch to the plate is up high to Camden Welch, and he's ahead in the count. Now 3 balls and no strikes. That was difficult, TJ. I was trying to write everything down and tweet and camera, and I didn't do a good job. I can just tell you that. We'll talk in a moment here. Here's the pitch hit on the ground. The shortstop takes a funny hop. He's going to have to throw it, and he does in time for out number 3. Wildcats do play to run. They lead Karns as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. The Wildcats on top by a score of 5-0. The RBIs in that first inning, Parker Free had 2. Cam Welch had an RBI as well. The Wildcats lead at 5-0. A pitcher for the Wildcats for Oak Ridge is Camden Welch. He retired the first 3 batters he faced. He struck out Ben Stiles to open up the bottom of the first inning. Connor Clark flew out to center field, and he struck out Thomas Butler looking. We go to the bottom of the second inning. I'm going to reconfigure here. We'll be back in a moment. Probably lean it down a little bit down so it won't be like that. What's up, Brady?
Hey guys.
That is Braden Sharp, member of the Oak Ridge Junior Varsity Baseball team. He got on a little airtime there, TJ.
Oh yeah. How'd y'all do? Yeah. Huh?
Welcome back once again to Karns High School. Number 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the lineup. And the umpires wants to have words with Coach Travis Free. Not exactly sure what the conversation is. I know that I'll set the defense for you since we just got on the air just now. Peyton Witter is playing first base for the Wildcats. The second baseman is Noah Wood. Caden Black is playing shortstop. You want to kind of swing it around there at third base. We've got Kyron Welch, the left fielder for the Wildcats, is Cy Stevens. The center fielder is Warren East, and over in right field is Richie Ferreira. Parker Free is behind the plate, and Camden Welch is the pitcher. Pitch to the plate. There's a called strike, and the count is 0-1. 5-0 Wildcats as they play the Karns Beavers here at Karns. No ball game tomorrow. They do go to Bearden on Thursday, play at home on Friday against Maryville, and then at Clinton on Saturday. So a lot of baseball to be played in the next few days. Clayton Kelly is the designated hitter. He is hitting for the first baseman, Bryce Egan. Pitch, cut on and missed, and the count is 1-2. Have you ever been to this field, TJ?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, well, it's a nice field, honestly. It's kind of, everything kind of takes place here. I was talking to their athletic director before the ball game as that pitch is cut on a miss, and that's a strikeout. And that is the third strikeout of the ball game for Camden Welch. And the batter now will be Brody Miles. I was talking to the athletic director before the ball game. They have baseball, softball, and soccer all going on right now here at Karns High School. So a lot of activities here on campus here at Karns. Batter now is Brody Miles, the center fielder for the Beavers, and he swings kind of a half swing at it, and it's a strike, and the count is 0-1. Last night Oak Ridge beat Karns 8-3 at Bobby Hopkins. That's while TJ was having his MRI on his shoulder. And that pitch is outside. Have you got your results back yet?
I don't get them till tomorrow morning.
So the anticipation is mounting on what exactly they're going to find with that shoulder. You've had some trouble with that shoulder in the past here. We'll come back to that in a moment. Miles, 1-1 pitch to Franchito, is hit foul. Back out of play. Is that the same shoulder you've had trouble with?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, how many times?
This is the second time, but we don't know if something's wrong yet. So.
Okay, well, I guess the MRI will show that as Miles steps in once again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody aboard here for the Beavers. We're in the second inning. 5-0 Oak Ridge. Low. Karns dugout finally got a little bit of action. They fell behind so quickly, it was hard for them to kind of get excited about that first inning because the Wildcats put 4 on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Welch, the sophomore, left-hander, comes to the plate. That's up high, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right fielder C.J. Burnett will follow in the Karns lineup. Miles back in. Sign the pitch. That's ball 4, low, and that's the first base runner of the ball game for the Karns Beavers. Batter now, as I mentioned, will be the right fielder, C.J. Burnett.
Right fielder number 14, C.J. Burnett.
I didn't stay, actually, for the junior varsity game. Did I hear Braden say they won on a walk-off?
Yeah, 3-run walk-off.
Wow. And when I left, they were trailing as that pitch is hit foul back to the screen. The runner was going from first, but he'll have to return to first base. And a no-ball, 1-strike count on C.J. Burnett. 3 strikeouts so far in the ball game for Camden. Once again, back in the box, C.J. Burnett. He's a right-hander against the left-handed throwing Welch. Pitch bounces away, but not far enough for the runner. Karns players are used to playing on this field. There is very little foul territory at all right behind the plate, and the Karns players are used to that. It doesn't bounce away that far, and he wisely stayed put at first base. Almost hit him, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Parker Free has the sign. Parker with a big 2 RBI double in the first inning. Here's the throw over to first, and back to the bag he goes. Witter applied the tag, but late. Peyton had a big hit a few moments ago. Wildcats had, yesterday in one inning, they had 3 doubles in the same inning, in the first inning. Wildcats have 5 on the board here. We're in the second. Runner going. Pitches hit foul again. Off to the right and out of play. Kind of like the way they've worked. The old Karns field was located at the middle school, and it was a beautiful facility. Dwight Smith, who was a longtime coach here, I think he still occasionally shows up for Karns baseball functions, but he built that field, and it was beautiful. But they decided to expand the school out there, so they had to tear down the field. They built the field here on campus, and they spent a ton of money on this field. And it was kind of well documented at the time. Runner going, pitch is called strike 3. Here's the throw down, and he is out. Caught stealing, and that is a double play. Strikeout, swinging, and then the double play at second base retires the side. We go to the top of the third inning here at Karns High School. The Wildcats on top by a score of 5-0. And we'll be back to Karns in a moment. Welcome back once again to Karns High School. We go to the top of the third inning. Wildcats on top 5-0. Second pitcher used by Karns in this one. This is Blake Bowers pitching. The batter is Kai Welch. Kai grounded out in the first inning. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Pitch to him is look pretty good from here, but it's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Decent crowd on hand here. It is chilly here, but nothing like it was last night. I mean, the wind just blow, and I know I'm whining, and I've done that several times in this game. As that ball is hit weakly on the infield, it's going to be a bang-bang play. Third baseman feels it, has time, and throws out Kai Welch. Kai's not the fastest guy on the team, but I thought when he initially kind of nubbed it out there that it was he was going to be able to reach, but he is retired for the first out here in the third inning. I don't know how much of the field we have on the screen here. Yeah, well, Wildcats, Richie Ferreira steps in now for the Wildcats. Picked up an RBI back in the first inning. Pitch to him is up high, a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Apologize for getting on a little bit late. Had several issues at foot here, but we got it on. TJ worked his magic after a little bit of a struggle.
I don't know what was going on. It just wasn't working. He just got nailed in the face.
That's a foul at the plate there. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, it's just we haven't moved the camera much here. Let's kind of zoom in a little bit. Not on Richie right now, but just in a second. We'll on the batter just so we can show the grandparents what they look like who might be watching from long distance away. Bowers on the hill. Pitch to the plate. That's down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes Richie Ferreira into your screen. TJ, thank you for doing that. Like I said, I was doing camera work while TJ was trying to do some work, so I really wasn't able to move it and talk at the same time. Pitch is hit in the air, foul off to the left side and well out of play. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on here in the top of the third. The Wildcats on top in the third inning, 5-0. Richie Ferreira is a junior. Started most of the ball games last year in center field for the Wildcats, playing basically right field this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody aboard. Lefty back in. And the pitch. Outside, but barely outside. And the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So I mentioned there is a junior varsity game after this one. We won't broadcast that ball game. Maybe we will someday. I know you probably played some JV football in your time. I know you don't get a whole lot of love on the JV. Eventually you do. At varsity, the ball's hit up the middle, and that's a base hit for Richie. Richie will head towards around the bag quickly at first, and will head back to the bag. So that is a 1-out single for Richie Ferreira. The batter now will be the left fielder, Cy Stevens. Cy had a hit back in the first inning, but was retired. He was retired, actually. He wasn't retired, but the runner at third, I think it was Richie, got gunned down at third base as Richie picks up a single. Stevens back in, right-handed hitter. Good lead at first for Ferreira. Timeout is asked for and granted by the umpire, and Cy will bat once again. 5-0 Wildcats. The Wildcats scored 4 in the first inning, a solo run in the second. Let's see what they can do here in the third. We've got Cy Stevens. He's hitting in the number 8 position for the Wildcats. So what were you saying about Coach Day earlier, TJ?
I wasn't saying nothing, dude.
As that pitch is in there for a called strike. You know, TJ, I'm always trying to mess with you.
I was trying to throw me under the bus.
I've been trying to tell him. No balls and 1 strike. Pitch to the plate is in there for a called strike, and Cy behind now. No balls and 2 strikes. Like I mentioned, he had a single back in the first, but he was really basically stranded there as Richie was gunned out at third trying to advance to that base. No balls, 2 strikes. Throw over to first, and Ferreira is back to the bag with ease. Stevens will be followed by Noah Wood in the Oak Ridge lineup. Noah flew out to right field in the first inning. Richie a short lead at first, makes it a little longer lead. Thought about going. Now he is going. That pitch is high. Here's a high throw, and Richie is going to go in there with a stolen base. So the Wildcats able to steal on the catcher. And the Wildcats have a runner in scoring position with a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Cy Stevens. A couple of years ago, actually maybe 3 years ago, we were at Karns here, and just as the lights were having to turn on because it got dark, the lights, like at Gibbs the other night when we were there, but they didn't come back on, and they had to suspend the ball game, and we had to come back about a month later to finish the game. That pitch is hit in the air, foul territory, drifting over towards the net. The catcher with a look at it, and he can't make it. He went immediately to the net, and then the ball just kind of had a backspin and came back into the field of play, and he wasn't able to make the play. So Cy stays alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Appreciate you watching our broadcast. And like I said, we apologize for getting on late. We tried to get on, but sometimes technical things just don't happen right for us. Especially when we're on the road here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Appreciate Karns for allowing us to stream this game, as that pitch is called strike 3, and that is out number 2 here in the 3rd inning. For Butler, that'll be his 2nd strikeout in relief of the first pitcher. That's actually Butler who was the first pitcher. This is Bowers, the 2nd strikeout for Bowers. My apologies. And Noah Wood stands in. So if the Wildcats are going to score here, Noah's got to do something. He stands in. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game. Flew out to right field back in the 1st inning. Batting in the number 9 position. He takes one outside. Richie Ferreira went out single, takes his lead off of second base after he stole the bag. Noah back in, 1 ball, no strikes. Called strike 1 at the belt, right down the middle, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 5-0 Wildcats. Last night's game a little bit more tense. At one point it was 3-2. Later in the ball game, the Wildcats were able to pull away with some big insurance runs in the 6th as that pitch is hit on the infield, first base side, and in foul territory, the catch is made for out number 3. The Wildcats pick up a base runner, but they leave him stranded. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning here at Karns on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. My name is David Clary, along with TJ Hibben. Wildcats on top, 5-0. We'll be back in a moment. Cam Welch has faced the minimum here as we go to the 3rd inning, giving up 1 base runner. That was a walk, but he was retired on a caught stealing on a nice throw by Parker Free. And Camden has 4 strikeouts to his credit, and right now his teammates have given him a 5-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It'll be the lower third of the Beavers order. The catcher, Isaac Schmidt, the 3rd baseman, Luke Barnes, and the 2nd baseman, Owen Burnett. The scheduled 3 in the Karns lineup. Oak Ridge trying to go 2-0 in district play. Schmidt stands in, the pitch to him. Hit in the air, foul territory. First baseman Peyton Witter comes over and makes a catch. Very similar to what we saw a moment ago, but Peyton's able to make a really nice play. The ball looked like initially it was going to be in foul territory. It came drifting back with the wind blowing in that direction, and Peyton makes a nice play for out number 1. Batter now will be the 3rd baseman, Luke Barnes. 5-0 Oak Ridge. Wildcats in the lead. As I mentioned, Camden has faced the minimum. And this is number 8 hitter in the lineup for the Karns Beavers. Oak Ridge will not play tomorrow. We will have our Covering the Bases show. That'll be a studio show, channel 1086 on Comcast. We'll also broadcast it on our YouTube channel here at Prep Radio. And we hope you'll tune in for that. Coach Free will be joined by some players. I don't know who he will select, but we will talk to some of the Wildcats. Usually seniors we talk to first, but I'll let Coach Free decide that. 2 balls, no strikes. Cut on and missed. Count is 2-1. Thursday, the Wildcats travel to Bearden, and then on Friday, the Wildcats are at home against Maryville, and then Saturday on the road at Clinton in the makeup ball game. Cut on and missed. He's come back from a 2-0 count to make it even. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the third baseman, Luke Barnes. Blake Bowers is the new pitcher in the ball game for Karns. He'll be here. There's another strikeout for Camden. He was behind 2 balls and no strikes, and I think that was fouled, tipped into the mid, and that is out number 2. And for Camden, that is his 5th strikeout of the ball game. And the number 9 hitter, the second baseman, Owen Burnett, stands in for the Beavers. We apologize you didn't get to see that first inning when the Wildcats scored 4. The key hit was Parker Freeze, bases clearing. Well, not quite clearing. He scored 2. And that ball is definitely hit foul and out of play to our right side. Bases were loaded after a series of walks and hit batsmen, and Parker had a double to score 2 of those. The Wildcats would score 2 more runs in that first inning. Ground outs, basically, but they all count as RBIs just the same. 1 strike the count. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Ken Welch is a sophomore. Plays a lot of first base for the Wildcats. Trying to get them 1-2-3, and that ball is hit foul right at the plate, and the count remains at 0-2. TJ is sitting up here in short sleeves. Everyone else, including myself, have coats on, jackets. I told him before the game, dress warmly. Did I not?
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch to the plate. And there's a rip to center field. That's a base hit. That ball was tagged, and that is the first hit of the ball game for the Karns Beavers. That came from the number 9 hitter in their lineup. And back to the top of the order we go to Ben Stiles. Ben was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Plays left field for the Beavers. That ball was hit solidly right back where it came from. Stiles stands in. Played this team yesterday, as I mentioned, if you just tuned in. Wildcats winning that ball game 8-3, trying to sweep the Beavers. Runner is going, cut on a miss. Here's Parker's throw, and it goes into center field, but no damage done. That is a stolen base there for the Beavers. Number 9 hitter in their lineup, Owen Burnett. No balls, 1 strike to Ben Stiles. Wildcats up 5-0. We're in the 3rd inning. At least it's not raining, TJ. When we were at Gibbs the other night, that was
Yeah, we got a little wet. I sat in a wet spot, dude.
called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff man for the Karns Beavers. Their jerseys are white with orange or with gold and blue. They've got an American flag right below the collar, right above their numbers on the back. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, a little bit outside, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know, I've been trying to get Braden Sharp on my crew for the last maybe 3 years. Just won't do it there, TJ.
I'll talk to him for you.
1 ball, 2 strikes, cut on, miss. That's strike 3. Parker's going to have to throw him out, and he does for out number 3. So Stiles goes down for the 2nd time swinging. We go to the top of the 4th inning here at Karns High School. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge, the defending District 3 champions, in the lead 5-0. And we'll be back to Karns on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, in a moment. Welcome back once again to Karns High School. Wildcats on top 5-0. Caden Black leading things off for the Wildcats. His third at bat this ball game. He hits the ball foul back our way. Hits the net. He has walked both times. Yes, I'll let me put a picture on it. And has scored 2 runs for the Wildcats. Has a couple of stolen bases. Back in his familiar leadoff spot for the Wildcats. Behind in the count 0-1. That pitch is down low. And the count is 1-1. As I mentioned, he walked in the first, stole a base, came in to score the first run of the ball game. In the second inning, he also walked, stole a base, came in to score, and takes a ball here. 2 balls and 1 strike. Got a good crowd on hand here. Not as many Karns people as we're used to seeing. Karns baseball. This Karns team has a good tradition of good high school ball. Last several years, the Wildcats have, I think, beaten them like, I know we beat them 3 times last year. The ball is hit on the ground to the first baseman. He fields it and steps on the bag for out number 1. So Caden is retired for the first time in the ball game. Here comes Mikey Teasley to the plate. Mikey so far today has been hit by a pitch, walked, and scored a run. And he is officially has no at-bats as he'll stand in for the Wildcats. Mikey behind in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Right-handed hitter. Pitch to him. Oh, look good from here. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. From my vantage point, it looked like a strike as well. But, we don't count, do we?
Nope.
TJ, a man of very few words today especially. Pitches hit on the ground, foul. Off the screen over the top of the Wildcat first baseman, Peyton Witter, standing in the on-deck circle. Mikey behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our next broadcast will be Thursday from Bearden. We'll be on the air. I believe that is a 6 o'clock start time from Bearden High School. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, the called strike 3, and that is out number 2. So Butler started the ball game. Bowers came in for him, and he has done well since coming into the ball game. Batter now will be Peyton Witter. Peyton in the ball game walked, had a double, scored a run, and has an RBI to his credit. But he bats here with nobody aboard and 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Rip right to the second baseman, hit right on the nose, but out. So the Wildcats go 1-2-3 here in the 4th inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. The Wildcats lead Karns 5-0, and we'll be back to Karns on our YouTube channel in a moment. David Clary back here along with TJ Hibben. The Wildcats on top 5-0. As we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, it'll be the number 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup. It'll be Connor Clark to lead things off. Connor flew out to Warren East in center field back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Six strikeouts so far for Camden Welch, and he starts with a hard hit ball to left field, and Cy Stevens makes the catch. Right on the button the ball was hit, but out. And Cy makes the play out in left field. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the fourth inning. Batter now will be Joe. And I'm looking for the lineup here, number 5. Stepping in here, number 5 for them officially is Joe Carter. Got Joe Carter's name in correctly, and he hits one foul back to the screen. Carter is hitting in the spot where the starting pitcher, Thomas Butler, was. Butler was 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. That ball's hit hard right to the first baseman, though, Peyton Witter, and he feels it. And that is out number 2. Last 3 balls really have been hit right on the button. The single that they got in the previous inning, the line drive to left, and that one, but Wildcat defense was there.
Yeah, we might be looking at 2 3-and-outs in a row.
Hey, let's do it. Batter now will be Clayton Kelly, the designated hitter. Let's see what Clayton has done. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game with a strikeout, and he swings and he misses, and Camden Welch is ahead, no balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning, live from Karns High School on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We started out a little slow, had some technical issues, if you're wondering. That pitch is outside the ball. Initially we got him going. TJ and I both couldn't figure out what the situation was, and 2 heads are better than 1. Maybe we should have gotten a third.
Yeah, we just had to completely restart. I think you messed it up, David.
Yeah, probably so. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cam comes to the plate. He takes a half cut at it. And I guess they say he didn't swing. Now they do ask for help. And they said he did not swing. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. We're in the fourth inning. 5-0 Wildcats. Clayton Kelly back in. 2-1. Cam comes to the plate. Cut on a miss. High fastball, lit her high. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Clayton Kelly will be followed in the lineup by Brody Miles. But Clayton's going to have to get on somehow. There's 2 outs, nobody aboard. Camden Welch has the sign from Parker Free, and the pitch. That one stays up high, about shoulder level. We've got a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Appreciate Ben Collins, the athletic director here at Karns. Karns is always very accommodating to us when we come over here, and we appreciate that. We'll be going to Bearden. We've already gotten the good word from Bearden. We'll be allowed to broadcast. Their athletic director is very accommodating as well, and told us exactly where we'll be sitting and all that, and we appreciate him. Based on balls, and that is the second that Camden has issued in the ball game. He's got 2 outs. Good lead at first. They have tried to run on the Wildcats. One of them has been caught stealing. They have 1 stolen base, and he's going on this one. Ball's hit on the ground, third base side, fielded by Kyron Welch. He throws on to Peyton Witter for out number 3. They pick up a base runner on a walk, but he is stranded. We go to the top of the 5th inning here at Karns High School. Oak Ridge on top of the Beavers, 5-0, and we'll be back to Karns in a moment. Welcome back once again to Karns High School. David Clary, TJ Hibben. We go to the top of the fifth inning. The batter now is Parker Free. Parker had a double, knocked in a couple runs. His runner, Izzy Mitchell, scored in the first inning. That pitch is high and tight. 1 ball, no strikes. Parker hitting in the number 4 spot. And I think that's the first time this year. We've had several different people. I know the first ball games, as Parker hits one foul back to the screen. First couple of ball games, Camden Welch was in the number 4 spot. We've had Peyton Witter hit in the 4 spot as well. And I believe this is the first time that Parker has hit in the number 4 slot, but he made Coach Free a genius as he doubled in 2 runs back in the first. Pitch hit on the ground, third base side, booted, picked up, throwing, and in time. Had plenty of time and gunned down Free for the out. So that is actually the 6th consecutive batter retired by the Karns pitcher, the relief pitcher, Blake Bowers, who came in for Butler, who struggled with his control, gave up a couple of hits, but it was his control what was the problem for him. As the batter now will be the pitcher, Cam Welch. Cam picked up a RBI on a ground out back in the first inning, grounded out to third in the second. He is officially 0 for 2 with an RBI. The pitch to him is on the outside corner for a called strike. You really haven't had to move the camera a whole lot, have you?
No, not really. Not the past 6 outs.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have been going down with ease, actually. Not a whole lot of action. All the action took place when nobody could see it.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, but we apologize for that. We'll try to do better Thursday when we're at Bearden. I don't think I'm going to bring TJ, though.
Sorry for being late.
Just kidding. Here's the pitch. Hit well, hit deep to left center field. Left fielder back on it, makes the catch. Just shy of the warning track for out number 2. The ball was hit well, but out. And the batter now will be, that is the 7th consecutive Wildcat to be retired. The batter now will be Kyron Welch. Kyron officially 0 for 2 in the ball game. He's grounded out twice in the ball game. We're in the 5th inning. Is that what the scoreboard says, I would assume? 5th inning. TJ's right on top of that. You know, last year, I don't know if you didn't help us with baseball last year, did you? Yeah, last year we still had the basketball. We couldn't change it from periods to innings. And so people would say, I've never heard of a 6th period, you know, so except in school, of course, maybe. But so we finally got that changed to innings. We did know the difference, although we were told that ball's ripped to left. That's a base hit. Kyron's taking a wide swing around first, and that's as far as he's going to get as the throw comes in. So the Wildcats, Kyron Welch picks up his first hit of the night. It's the first hit after 7 consecutive Wildcats were retired. Kai, to go along with that hit, also has walked in the ballgame. And the batter now will be the right fielder, Richie Ferreira. Richie picked up an RBI in the first inning and singled and stole a base in the 3rd. He bats here in the 5th inning with a runner at first base with 2 outs. Looks like we're going to get I thought we were going to get a runner, and I think that is the case. Looks like Britton's going to come in. Camden Britton comes into the ball game. He's going to be running for Kai. Our chance to get a look at number 8 out on the base paths. Played left field last night for the Wildcats. His first appearance in the ball game tonight. We'll get a close-up of him in a moment. Pitch to the plate is down low, a ball. That is Camden Britton taking his lead off of first base. Big lead at first. Batter for the Wildcats, Richie Ferreira. Richie, like I said, had a single his last plate appearance. Camden continues to take a big lead off the bag at first. Now he goes back a little bit and draws the throw. Kept inching out there, and then he thought, maybe I'm a little bit too far out, and took about a half step back in. And he did draw the throw, and he's easily back to the bag. Camden once again takes the lead off of first. Ritchie back in. 1 ball, no strikes. Standing, and Camden Britton has a stolen base. So he's in scoring position. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Base hit means a run. Britton takes his lead off of second now. Ritchie calls timeout and steps out of the box. We're in the 5th inning, 5-0 Oak Ridge. The Wildcats scored 4 in the first, solo run in the second, but nothing since. Trying to get that done right here is if Ritchie can pick up a base hit. Fleet-footed sophomore out at second. The pitch. Inside corner for a called strike. And I believe the count is 2-1. Maybe 1-2. He throws up, yes, 1-2. I thought that second pitch was a ball, but I must not have been paying attention. I was watching Camden steal. Ritchie stands back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Britton takes his lead off of second. Bowers checks him, comes to the plate. Hit in the air, on the infield. Pitcher calls for it, makes the catch in foul territory for out number 3. The Wildcats pick up a base runner, but they leave him stranded. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Karns High School. Wildcats on top, 5-0. We'll be back on YouTube in a moment. Welcome back once again to Karns High School. We start the bottom of the 5th inning with the Wildcats in the lead, 5-0. Camden Welch, first offering is swung on and miss. Scheduled in this lineup, they might have made a change here. C.J. Burnett, Isaac Schmidt, and Luke Barnes, the scheduled hitters. Pitch to the plate, hit on the ground, right back to the pitcher. Cam fields it, throws on to first in time for out number 1. We're kind of flying along right now. All of a sudden, after the first inning, when we had so many base runners, it's been zipping along here.
Yeah, it's inning after inning after inning.
Isaac Smith, the batter now. Isaac popped out to the first baseman in foul territory, Peyton Witter, back in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch to him, hits him, and down the first he goes. Camden has walked 2 guys. That's the first guy he's hit. He's given up 1 hit. He has struck out 6 in the ball game, yet to allow a run. Wildcats in the lead, 5-0 as they play here in the 5th inning. Here's Luke Barnes stepping in. Luke is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out back in the 3rd inning. Garrett not with us tonight. He's got AAU practice. Vashon, who knows what Vashon's doing. Throw over to first and back to the bag he goes. Vashon's going to be playing football at ETSU. Congratulations to Mr. Knowles. He's a good one there, TJ.
Yeah, he's a good guy for the team for sure.
Cam's just not a talker today. Here's the throw over to first and easily back to the bag.
Sorry, David, my bad. It's a little chilly out here.
Yes, it is. I won't mention again the fact that I told you he dressed warm. You teenagers, I just don't get you guys. At least you don't have shorts on. Last night, Vashon had like his house shoes on. Ethan had shorts on.
That doesn't surprise me. I guess we're just all hard-headed, Dave.
Yeah, that's one word for it, I guess. Maybe two words, I guess. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Pitch to the plate. There's a throw down. They're going to throw him out by a mile. Caught stealing. They continue to try to run on Parker Free, and that isn't even close. That isn't even close, and that's the second time that Parker has caught a base runner trying to advance a base, and that is out number 2. Second time Parker has nailed a guy at second. And the count now 1 ball, 1 strike. Luke Barnes, as I mentioned, he struck out his only plate appearance, and he hits 1 foul over on the left side here off the net. Wildcats trying to go 2-0 in the district. The Wildcats are the defending District 3 champions. Went to the regional tournament a year ago. Unfortunately, had to go to Carson Newman, play a couple ball games against the 2 teams that played for the state champions. There is strikeout number 7 for Camden Welch as Luke Barnes goes down swinging. We go to the top of the 6th inning here at Karns High School. It's all Oak Ridge so far. The Wildcats on top, 5-0, and we'll be back in a moment. Top of the 6th inning here at Karns High School. The Wildcats on top, 5-0. Cy Stevens steps in for the Wildcats. Cy 1 for 2 in the ball game. Had a single back in this first inning and struck out in the third. Pitch to the plate, looked pretty good. Called a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Really, since Butler came out of the ball game, the pitching staff for Karns, they've done a really good job. Blake Bowers came in and really has shut down the Wildcats for the most part. Oak Ridge hasn't had many base runners since that opening inning that nobody saw, as that pitch is hit foul off to the right side and way out of play. Beautiful facility here. Kind of a nice view, kind of rolling, kind of grasslands behind us. You know, a lot of houses, a lot of condos going up in the Karns area. Hardin Valley for sure. If anybody's looked at Hardin Valley, that's nothing but condos and houses going up there. In my opinion, they're going to have to build another school, out here somewhere to kind of, because Hardin Valley is just like 3,000 students. It's crazy. Pitches a ball, kind of is 2 balls and 1 strike. We're in the 6th inning, top of the 6th. The Wildcats did all their damage in the first 2 innings. 4 runs in the first, solo run in the second. Since that time, Karns has kind of shut down the Wildcats. Cy swings and he misses, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're broadcasting live here from Karns. Thursday night, we'll broadcast from Bearden as the Wildcats take on the Bulldogs. Nobody on, nobody out. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cy Stevens. Cy got a chance to pitch a little bit yesterday. Played outfield for the Wildcats. Hitting in the number 8 spot today, and he takes ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. On deck for the Wildcats, I believe, will be the second baseman, Noah Wood. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame. Then to the top of the order, we'll go to Caden Black, who's reached base safely twice on walks. 3-2 pitch. That's ball 4, and Wildcats have the leadoff man aboard. A lot of walks in the ballgame, especially in the first innings, when the starting pitcher for the Beavers really struggled with his control. Wildcats will get Izzy Mitchell to run. Let's get a shot of Izzy. I know his family's always watching. Always good to have Izzy in a close-up. This is for you, Mitchell family. That's Izzy out there. Hey, Izzy. As the Wildcats, let's see, going to get Alex Franklin to pinch hit here. Alex will be hitting for Noah Wood. Wildcats with Izzy Mitchell down at first. Alex stands in for the Wildcats. Alex put down a really nice bunt yesterday in that 6th inning when the Wildcats scored some insurance runs. Third baseman fielded it and then just launched it over the first baseman's head, and that just opened the floodgates for the Wildcats yesterday at Karns. Izzy takes the lead. Alex squares to bunt again. Runner going down low, and Izzy's in without a throw. So, Alex squared to bunt. Like I said yesterday, he had a perfect bunt and reached base safely. Izzy scored a run earlier in the ball game when he was running for, I guess it was Parker he was running for earlier. Yes, it was. He's got a second stolen base. Alex stands in, ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Squares to bunt. First base side, another perfect one. They throw on, and they're going to go in for the plate, and he is going to be safe. Izzy Mitchell comes all the way from second base on an infield bunt. What a play by Izzy Mitchell, a bang-bang play at the plate, and the Wildcats have played it a run. It was a really nice bunt up the first base line by Alex Franklin. Fielded cleanly. He threw on the first to retire Alex. Izzy never stopped as he came around third and scores the Wildcats run. Really, really nice base running there by Izzy Mitchell.
It was a good sacrifice bunt by Alex Franklin as well.
Yeah, everything about that play was good. The Wildcats now lead at 6-0. So Izzy scores his second run of the ball game. We go back to the top of the order to the 4-year starter, Caden Black. Caden officially 0 for 1 in the ball game. 2 walks, 2 runs scored, a couple stolen bases. Good day for the senior shortstop for the Wildcats. Pitch to him, ripped to deep center field, left center field. He can't make the play. It bounces once off the warning track out there, and Caden Black has a 1-out double. So his first base hit, third time on base, and the Wildcats have another runner in scoring position, leading by a score of 6-0. Mikey Teasley stands in now for the Wildcats. Mikey on the day was hit by a pitch, walked, and a strikeout victim as well. He has scored a run. officially 0 for 1 in the ball game. Caden takes his lead off of second base now for the Wildcats. Teasley, the sophomore, stands in. He was the winning pitcher yesterday in the victory over Karns. The pitch is up high. The Wildcats also used Cy Stevens and Peyton Witter. He got the save in the ball game, but Mikey got the win. He also got a win down in Alabama, which you didn't go to, TJ. Tried, but you just didn't want to go. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Caden chased back to the bag. Wildcats with Peyton Witter on deck. Peyton had a base hit earlier in the ball game. Peyton today has a walk, a double, a run scored, and an RBI. Mikey back in, 1 ball, no strikes. Caden goes to third on a stolen base and no throw again. They have run all day on this poor young man behind the plate for the Karns Beavers. And Wildcats have another stolen base and a runner at third. And Mikey Teasley ahead in the count, now 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out here in the 6th inning. 6-0 Oak Ridge. Bowers checks the runner, comes to the plate. That's up high. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. As I mentioned, Mikey's been on base twice today. First time very painfully as he was hit by a pitch. The second time a walk. He scored a run back in the first, as did Caden Black, Peyton Witter, and Izzy Mitchell. Pitch, hit on the ground, softly, third base side, goes foul. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Coach Mike Kelly watching our broadcast down in Jamaica right now, TJ.
What's he in Jamaica for?
Would you rather be in Jamaica or sitting out in the cold?
Sitting out in the cold.
Have you ever been to Jamaica?
No, I want to.
Have you ever been out of the country?
No, but I am going this summer on a cruise to the Bahamas.
Oh, really? We went to the Bahamas with the basketball team back in Thanksgiving time. That was fun. Warm weather at Thanksgiving. 3 balls, 1 strike. Mikey back in. Caden Black, the runner at third base. 3-1 pitch. Ripped to right center field. The right fielder, the center fielder, they're not going to be able to get it. It's going to jump in for another double, and in to score run number 7 for the Wildcats is Caden Black. That is an RBI double for Mikey Teasley. And the Wildcats now lead it by a score of 7-0. And the Wildcats will send Peyton Witter to the plate here, and that's going to be it for the Karns pitcher, I do believe. Wildcats on top 7-0. We are in the 6th inning here at Karns High School on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Reminder, the Wildcats will be traveling to Bearden High School on Thursday. We'll broadcast that ball game. Wildcats will be at home Friday against Maryville. Saturday, the Wildcats have the makeup game at Clinton. And then next week, the Wildcats will play Powell. Powell does not allow us to stream the ball games. So I apologize for that, but that is the decree from the principal at Powell High School, and we respectfully, respect their wishes, and we will not stream the Powell ball games. I apologize for that. I know they're big ones. Gives you an opportunity to come out to watch the Wildcats. The first game on Monday is at Bobby Hopkins Field. The second day, next Tuesday, will be at Powell High School. Like I said, Powell High School does not allow us to stream. So, I mean, every other school does. Well, we could stream, but they charge us big bucks. For football, TJ, they charge $2,000 to stream a ball game.
Are you serious?
Yes. So, obviously, your game next year at Powell will not be streamed.
That is insane.
Unless your parents want to write a check.
I don't know if they'd want to write a $2,000 check.
So we will not be streaming. We couldn't stream basketball at Powell as well. It's their decision. It's not for me to make a decision on that, obviously, or an opinion on that. I have an opinion, but I mean, I think the reason we do this, and nobody's making any money here, is to promote the kids. And I guess they think that it takes away from the gate, and that's I don't agree with that, but I respect their decision. And so, like I said, Monday and Tuesday, we will not be able to stream the PAL ball games, and the one at Bobby Hopkins on Monday and the one at PAL on Tuesday. Here's Peyton Witter standing in for the Wildcats. He has walked in the ball game, has a double, scored a run, and has an RBI. Runner down at second, that is Mikey Teasley. Witter, the junior, transfer from Kingston High School, stands in. Big lead. Out at second base, the pitch to the plate, hit in the air on the infield. Shortstop under it, drifting off to his left and makes the catch for out number 2. Parker Free, the batter now. Parker in this ball game has a double and 2 RBIs to his credit. He stands in, hitting in the number 4 spot for the Wildcats. Runner at second base. The Wildcats have scored 2 here in the 6th inning to take a 7-0 lead over Karns. Righty against righty here. Mikey's heading towards third, and he's hit anyway. Parker is hit by a pitch, and he'll wander on down to first base. The Wildcats will have him at first and second. Mikey was 3/4 of the way to third on that one, but then Mikey was hit by a pitch and a dead ball, so he has to return to the bag at second. Better now for the Wildcats will be Cam Welch, the pitcher. He has been outstanding on the mound for the Wildcats. He has 7 strikeouts to his credit. He's walked 2. He's only given up 1 hit. At the plate today, Cam has an RBI on a ground out, but he's 0 for 3 officially, but he has knocked in that run. Wildcats with 2 outs here with 2 on, 2 in the 6th inning. Third pitcher used for the Beavers. The pitch is a called strike and popped out of the mitt of the catcher, but not far enough for the Wildcat runners to advance. Wildcats have a new courtesy runner in the ball game down at first. Number 19 does not appear on my official roster, and man, I hate that, especially our own guys. If we don't know who our own guys are. He takes a big lead off of first. Teasley takes his lead off of second. 1-strike pitch, cut on a missed. Might have been foul tipped, and the count is 0-2. Can you run down there and find out who number 19 is? Do you know that guy? Left-handed hitter against the right-hander. They're not holding the runner on at first. No, at first. Cam back in. Pitch. Inside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Go ask Miss Bunch or Jacob or Alex Franklin's mother sitting in the chair right there. Yes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cam back in. Behind in the count 1-2. 2 on. The pitch to him. Hit on the ground. First base side. First baseman feels it. Steps on the bag for out number 3. But the Wildcats do plate 2 more runs. The Wildcats pick up a couple hits. Actually 3 hits. They leave 2 on. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Karns. The Wildcats in the lead 7-0. Welcome back once again to Karns High School. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning. It'll be the number 9 hitter for them, leading things off against Camden Welch, who has pitched into the sixth inning, has given up only 1 hit in the ballgame. He's walked 2, has struck out 7 to this point. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike. So, Braden Sharp, you're a member of the junior varsity team. Thanks for joining us here. Your thoughts on the game so far?
It's a pretty good game. Up 7-0. I think we're playing better ball than we did yesterday. Definitely hit the ball way better than we have. And, yeah, Cam is pitching great and good start for the districts.
Tell me about last night's junior varsity win.
So we won the ball game 3-1. They got an early lead, 2-1 at the start of the game. Towards the end, we had a walk-off win to be up 3-2. And, yeah, that's how we won.
Who got the hit?
Carson Fegan. It was kind of a bunt hit. It wasn't really a bunt, but it was like one of those short little hits, and it was a walk-off, and he scored. Ethan Hatmaker.
Good, and we just got an out here too. I believe that looks like Noah Wood grounded out, or had a grounder hit to him, and he throws out the number 9 hitter, Owen Barnett, and we go back to the top of the order, I believe, to Ben Stiles. Ben is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He struck out in the first, struck out in the third. Stands in, right-handed hitter. 1 out here in the sixth. That pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes the count. You know, I told TJ before the game that he needed to dress warmly. Do you see how he's dressed?
Yep, short sleeve T-shirt.
Pitches a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. You know, the thing about it, Braden, I've told him I've got a jacket in the car that he can wear, but he won't do it. He's trying to be a tough man.
Yeah, I think you should have done it, TJ. You're looking a little chilly. Your noses are getting red.
Your nose is red too.
2 balls and no strikes to count. It's always great to have a freshman and a junior up here talking baseball with me, talking weather, talking noses. 3 balls and no strikes to count. 1 out, the pitch. There's a called strike. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Wildcats on top 6-0, trying to go 2-0 in district play. Their next district games Monday and Tuesday as they take on the Powell Panthers. Pitch is up high and down the first. 3rd walk of the ball game for Camden Welch. First time that Ben has gotten on base. And the batter now will be the number 2 guy in their lineup. This will be the shortstop, Connor Clark. He's the new pitcher in the ballgame. He is 0 for 2 in the ballgame. He flew out to center field back in the 1st inning, flew out to left field in the 4th inning. Bats here with a runner at first. Let's see if they try to run on Parker again. He's gunned out 2 guys already in this game. He is taking a big lead. The runner down at first, Ben Stiles. The pitch was out of the strike zone. 1 ball, no strikes to count. 7-0. The Wildcats in the lead. Cheeto checks the runner at first, comes to the plate. There's a called strike, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Looks like the outfield remains the same. Ferreira, East, and over and left I think is Cy. I can't really tell from here. It might be Izzy. We don't have a great camera angle as they throw over to first. And the infield, we've got Kai Welch at 3rd, Caden Black at short, Noah Wood at 2nd base, and Peyton Witter is still at first. Parker Free is behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch, runner going, hit foul. Back to the screen. So, Braden, do you like baseball better or do you like football better?
Personally, I like football better.
But it's baseball season, so you prefer baseball. That'll make Coach Free very happy.
Yeah, I do like baseball. A lot right now.
He says a lot right now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner takes his lead off of first. He was going the last time, had to retreat. The pitch, that's up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. TJ told me when he was growing up, he liked baseball too, almost as his favorite sport, but has since kind of switched over to football.
Yeah, I think I'm more fit out for football than baseball, to be honest with you, especially with my shoulder issues.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Foul back to the screen. Both times. Ben Stiles looked like he would have had that base stolen, but both times they've The batter, Connor Clark, has fouled it back to the screen. And the count is 2-2. One out, one on. Wildcats up 7-0 over Karns. Apologize for getting on late today. Some technical issues that were unavoidable, unfortunately. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Throw over the first, and easily back to the bag will go Stiles. Welch has 7 strikeouts to his credit. He's walked 3. He's given up only 1 hit in the ball game. The Wildcats have helped him out offensively with the 7 runs. Sun beginning to set here, which means it's going to get even cooler for Mr. TJ. Runner going again. Cut on, that's a strikeout, and he's going to reach base as the ball got under the glove of the catcher, and they'll have runners at first and second. And give a credit for a strikeout to Camden Welch, but he reaches base safely, and they've got 2 on with 1 out, and the batter will be number 5 in their lineup. That'll be Joe Carter once again. Joe came in the ball game back in the 2nd inning. Cheeto checks the runner at second, taking a big lead off the bag. Welch to the plate, down low a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Last night we saw Mikey throw, I think it was 78 pitches before they took him out in the cold weather. And he gave way to Cy Stevens and then Peyton Witter. 1-0 pitch, hit foul. Back to the screen, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Braden's brother, Peyton Sharp, was a quarterback for the Wildcats. Peyton liked baseball, but he never seemed to want to play it here at Oak Ridge.
Yeah, it's a decision. I'll talk to him now about playing baseball at Oak Ridge, and he said he regrets not playing.
I mean, that was a choice, I guess. That pitch is out of the strike zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Carter looks at his armband, takes off a glove, puts that play sheet back in his back pocket. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch hit foul again. Off to the right side, over toward TJ's car. I don't know, TJ. I might have heard a crack there.
You're lying. I didn't hear nothing.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Well, actually, I think there's only 1 out. I only got 1 out credited here. I guess they did say with the runner at first, he was out at first. I wasn't paying attention, so that's on me. As the pitch is hit on the ground, second baseman Noah Wood fields it. He's got to throw quickly, and he does in time for out number 3. So they pick up a base runner on a walk and a strikeout. We go to the top of the 7th inning. 7-0 is our score. Wildcats in the lead, and we'll be back to Karns in a moment. Ball is hit to right field by Kai Welch. He can't make the play. Kai's going to round first, head towards second, and he's going to be close. The throw's a bad one, and that is a leadoff double there for Kai Welch. Kai in the ball game already has reached base safely, and on base he goes with a leadoff double. Good start for the Wildcats here in the 7th inning. They lead it by a score of 7-0. And the batter now will be Richie Ferreira. Richie tonight has had a good day at the plate here. He has a single, an RBI, and a stolen base. Left-handed hitter, runner at second, Welch. Richie stands in. Wildcats on top, 7-0 here in the 7th. Starting to get a little chillier here as the sun begins to set in the west. Here's the pitch to the plate. That's up high. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. So, Braden, we've lost a lot of receivers this year. Are you going to step up and be one of those guys?
Yes, sir. I hope on it. I've been working a lot this offseason, and it's my goal this year.
That's good news. Will can't have all the catches this year. He's about the only guy coming back, really, who played a lot last year. Of course, you're losing the all-time leading receiver, Brandon Hayward, as that pitch is hit in the air, foul off to the left side. Left fielder gives it a look, but it's way out of play. I don't think he really ever saw it. He went up that way, and I guess the sun was kind of in his eyes. It's well out of play, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Wildcats scored 4 runs back in the first inning, a solo run in the second. The Wildcats put 2 on the board as well in the 6th inning. They're batting here in the 7th. Leadoff man, Kai Welch, is the base runner. As a pitch to Richie is, I guess, a little bit low. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's had he's been very consistent with his pitch calling. 2 balls and 1 strike. You're exactly right. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kai takes his lead off of second. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Time was asked for. Richie back in. The umpire doesn't have to grant the timeout, but he did that time. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch down low. Oh boy. At the knees, I guess, on the outer half of the plate. It's called a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ferreira back in. The pitch to him is cut on and foul tipped. He's going to throw him out, and that'll be out number 1. That is a strikeout of Richie. That's the first out here in the 7th inning. And the batter now will be the left fielder, Cy Stevens. Cy in the ball game has reached base safely. He has a single to his credit back in the first inning. Walked and scored a run in the 6th inning. He stands in here with a runner down at second base. Wildcats will have, looks like Noah's on deck. Noah Wood on deck for the Wildcats. Pitch to the plate, hit on the ground, off the pitcher, and it's going to roll out to the third baseman, and everybody's going to be safe. So that'll be the second hit of the ball game for Cy. And over to third will go Kai. And that'll be, like I said, the second hit for Cy Stevens. That'll be 2 singles for him. And the batter now will be the second baseman. That is Noah Wood. Noah in this ball game, is 0 for 2 officially in the ball game. Wildcats have runners on the corners. Let's see if the pitcher's okay. The ball was hit hard. It went off of him, carried him down over towards third, and the Wildcats have him on the corners. Base runner at third is Kai Welch. The base runner at first is Cy Stevens. Noah stands in. Caden Black is on deck for the Wildcats. Noah stands in. He didn't bat the last plate appearance. Is here to throw over to first and back to the bag. Safely will go the base runner, Cy Stevens. Alex Franklin came in and pinch hit for him in the previous inning, laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt and got an RBI out of it because Izzy came all the way around to score, which from second base, which honestly I don't know that I've ever seen on a sacrifice bunt. Somebody score all the way from second base, but Izzy did it. His second run scored of the ball game. Noah back in. No balls and one strike. Cy takes his lead off of first. Pitch to the plate. Cut on and missed. The count is 0-2. It's a ball game, I guess the first ball game of the year that our center fielder Warren East has not batted in the lineup. Peyton Witter is hitting for him today. Peyton's done well at the plate. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air. Shallow left center field. The center fielder, great play by the shortstop. Made a diving catch, and the runners have to retreat back to the back. I didn't think there was any way he was going to be able to make the play. The center fielder came in strong, but great play, Braden, by the shortstop.
Yeah, it was a nice little diving catch there. Reminds me of Derek Jeter.
Are you a Yankees fan?
I am a Yankees fan.
You and Coach Gaddis. Coach Gaddis will love you for sure. Better now will be the top of the order. Caden Black. Caden walked twice and has a double to his credit. He has scored 3 runs in the ball game today. Two outs here in the 7th. Wildcats trying to get a little bit more here. They already lead at 7-0. Fourth pitcher used by Karns today. Cy takes his lead off of first. The pitch is hit in the air. Center field and deep. The center fielder back on it. Continuing to go back on it. Makes the catch right in front of the wall for out number 3. The ball was hit hard, but the ballpark was big enough to hold it. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Karns Beavers need 7 to tie, 8 to win. We'll be back to Karns in a moment. Welcome back once again to Karns High School. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Wildcats need 3 outs to get a win here. They lead at 7-0. First pitch from Cam Welch is swung on, and that's a strike. The batter for the Karns Beavers is Clayton Kelly, the designated hitter. He is, he is 0 for 1 with a walk, and that pitch is cut on and missed, and the count is 0-2. It'll be Kelly, Miles, and Burnett, the scheduled 3 in the lineup for the Beavers. Like I said, they need 7. The odds are not good for him, Braden.
Not very high. I think hopefully Cameron will pitch a shutout inning.
Pitch to the plate. I guess a little off the plate, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Clayton is the designated hitter. Last night was a lot more of a tense ball game. At one point it was 3-2, kind of late in the ball game. Wildcats got some insurance runs late. Here's the 2-strike pitch, called strike 3, and that is the 9th strikeout of the ball game for Camden Welch. And you haven't had to move the camera much there, and neither has TJ much, because Cam has been on his game tonight.
Yeah, he's been pitching great tonight. He's going to get a complete game for the season.
That's the voice of freshman Braden Sharp. He's a member of the JV. His team will be warming up to play a ball game. And Braden, I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to head to the house. I'm gonna miss it. I watched a little bit of yesterday's ball game as there's a base hit in the left field. That is only the second hit of the ball game against Camden Welch, right between the shortstop and the third baseman, and they've got a base runner with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Right fielder C.J. Burnett is the batter. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd. Grounded out to Cam Welch back in the 6th inning. Right-handed hitter, runner at first, kind of a shorter lead. Down 7, you don't want to be picked off here. I'd be surprised if they try to steal. That wouldn't be the smartest in moves to do. Down 7 runs.
Yeah, personally, I'm not coaching ability. I wouldn't steal this much unless it's a wild pitch.
Well, you're a dirty Yankee, so, I mean, what do you know? Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground. That's another base hit in the hole towards right field, and Richie fields it and gets the ball in really quick, and that's back-to-back hits. They only had 1 hit coming into this inning, and that's 2 here in the 7th inning, so Karns trying to make a little noise here. They've got runners at first and second with 1 out, and the batter now will be their catcher, and that is Isaac Schmidt. He popped out to Peyton Witter back in the 3rd inning. He walked in the 6th. Cam Welch trying to close things out here. Got 2 on, 1 out in a 7-0 ball game. Pitch bounced to the plate, not far enough. Parker recovers quickly and keeps it in front of him. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Umpire's going to go out and have words with the field umpire. I'm not really sure what that's all about. As I mentioned a couple years ago, maybe 3. Yeah, dead ball. So I guess everyone had to go back to the bags here. At first and second, they didn't really move that far. He goes out and gets some Skittles, but he doesn't go out and get a jacket.
Yep.
You don't want to throw him under the bus like I like to do? Runners at first and second. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Schmidt back in the pitch. Hit on the ground, first base side. Peyton Witter goes to second for 1. Back to first. Throw is high. Bounces away, and they're going to score the first run and spoil the shutout. Wildcats, good play there by Peyton. He got the out at second, got the force out for the 2nd out of the inning, but the throw sailed high and eluded Peyton and in to score. The first run of the ball game was Miles, but there are 2 outs now. And Schmidt's alive on a fielder's choice and a throwing error as well. And if Welch can get Barnes out here, that run will be unearned as he comes to the plate. Cut on a missed. Kind of has no balls and 1 strike. We are live here at Karns High School. We'll have perhaps some player interviews after the game. I know Cam Welch doesn't like to speak on the air, so maybe not him. We'll try to get him to, but it'll be hard. And he's ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Do you pitch there, Braden?
Do I pitch?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm a submarine type of pitcher.
Are you going to pitch today?
Not today. I'll pitch probably sometime the rest of this week or maybe next week.
Braden, I appreciate you coming up here and joining us on our broadcast. Gives TJ an opportunity to eat his Skittles. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, cut on a miss, and that's the ball game. Ends up with, I believe, 10 strikeouts, and the Wildcats win the ball game by a final score of 7-1. Excellent win for the Wildcats. The Wildcats are now 2-0 in District 3 play as the two teams will wander out to the center of the diamond to shake hands. And we'll have some player interviews. Coach Free will also be joining us up here as well. TJ, good win for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge did what they had to do. They jumped on the Karns Beavers. They scored 4 runs in the first inning. They scored another run in the 5th and never really were challenged. In fact, that run here in the 7th inning was an unearned run. And just a beautiful pitching performance tonight by Cam Welch. And
Yeah, Kim Welch and the Wildcats dominated tonight. And that, like you said, that last run was just unearned, and it was just off an error.
I've got him with 10 strikeouts in the ball game. He only gave up 3 hits. He walked 3, I believe, hit 1 batter. And the Wildcats win it by a final score of 7-1. The Wildcats, as I mentioned, are now 2-0 in district play. The next broadcast and next ball game for the Wildcats will be coming up on Thursday when the Wildcats travel to Bearden High School to take on the Bearden Bulldogs. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, we'll have a Covering the Bases show with the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Travis Free. He'll also bring along a couple players. He doesn't usually tell me until the day of the show, so I apologize. I don't know who's coming. Most likely seniors, but you never know. We'll see who he decides to bring to the show tomorrow. We're going to put the mic down and wait for Coach Free to join us here. It's not quite as cold as it was yesterday. Well, I've got my coat on, so for sure. But the good news is the Wildcats win, and it was a quick ball game. Yesterday's game was kind of like our game that we saw at Gibbs the other day, TJ. It just went on and on and on.
Oh, dude, I was tired of that game. I was up there almost falling asleep by the end of it.
It was wet and it was cold. Not as cold, not really that cold. It was more wet than anything. But the Wildcats came out with that game with a tie, which we talked about at length on that particular day. Final score, the Wildcats win at 7-1. Sounds like something's good either happening at the soccer game at Karns or the softball game.
Probably the soccer game. It's a little bit closer.
Yeah. Final score is 7-1 our score. We'll have Coach Free up here in a moment, and he'll probably bring a player. And we'll be back to Karns. The Wildcats victorious, 7-1 the score. Stay tuned. Well, I'll just run down some of the scoring totals in the ball game right now. Wildcats, let's see. Caden Black in the ball game scored 3 runs. He had 2 walks. He had a double. Mikey Teasley was hit by a pitch, walked, scored a run, had a double, and an RBI. Peyton Witter walked, had a double, an RBI, and scored a run. Parker Free had a double, 2 RBIs, and was hit by a pitch. Izzy Mitchell had 2 stolen bases, scored 2 runs for the Wildcats as well. Cameron Welch had an RBI today. Kai Welch had a double, and he walked as well. The Wildcats also, Richie Ferreira had an RBI, a single, a stolen base. Cy Stevens had 2 base hits in the ball game today. Cam Britton had a stolen base, and as I mentioned, Camden Welch pitched 7 full innings, struck out 10 Beavers, and gave up an unearned run, and the Wildcats win it by a score of 7-1. We're going to put down the mic, as I said. We'll be back with either Coach Free or an interview in a moment. Still waiting to speak to the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Travis Free. Seen a lot of the players. I asked Camden Welch, who pitched so well in the ballgame. He had 10 strikeouts for the Wildcats today, but he didn't want to talk to us. He has never really been one to kind of come to the camera. I asked him, but he didn't want to come talk to us. He had a great pitching performance, pitched all 7 innings, struck out 10, only gave up 1 unearned run in the ballgame, and got the win. Really great performance in a district win over the Karns Beavers. Waiting to speak to Coach Free. I think he's forgotten us. The JV is warming up down on the field. He was shivering last night, but it was so much later. It was almost like 9 o'clock when the game ended last night. As I see John Ulrich, he didn't play today. I don't want to interview John because he didn't play in the game. TJ, is Coach coming?
He's talking to a player right now.
Okay. A player? Okay. So we'll hold on just about another 5 minutes, and if he doesn't come, we will sign out and head on out of here because it is cold out here, especially if you don't have a jacket. TJ, as the Wildcats have won the ball game by a final score of 7-1. Well, stay tuned with us. Hopefully we'll have Coach Free in a moment. That about does it here. Coach Free is in a meeting right now, and don't get it quite yet. He's in a meeting, and he will not be able to join us, but we will talk to him tomorrow on the Covering the Bases show. That about does it here. The Wildcats victorious tonight, 7-1 for TJ and Braden. This is David Clary saying so long, everybody.